Hello everyone, this is Professor Maloney, and today I'm creating a Microsoft Access MindTap training overview video recording for you guys. This one will be similar to what I did for Word and Excel, where I went through all 4 training modules, but only did 4, 5, or 6 of the tasks. Obviously, you can do all of the tasks from the apply, but you can also remember to do the practice or observe modes to help you on things you don't know. All right. And as always, please do these several times, okay, so that you can do a great job on the exam. And speaking of exams, for Microsoft Access, because there's no projects, remember, I mentioned this to you a few times, so there's no projects. So the exam is going to be on either the 23rd or 24th, depending on which class you're in. The Tuesday, Thursday class, the exam will be the 23rd because the 25th is a holiday. It's Thanksgiving. Okay. For the Monday, Wednesday class, the exam will be the 24th. All right. Okay. So I've already got MindTap opened. And what I'm going to do is just go down to Access and go to Module 1. Or first of all, sorry, let me share my screen. Let's see, share. Okay. So let me get out of that, collapse all again. Okay, so now I'm in MindTap, and I'm going to go down to Microsoft Access. Okay. And I'm going to demonstrate 4, 5, or 6 tasks from each of the 4 training modules. Remember, there is no project in Access. So even though I've told you several times that the Access exam is the hardest exam in this class, the fact that we do not require you to do projects means you have a lot more time to focus on the training. So please do this, okay? Please, you can do it. You can make 100 on this exam, and that'll then help your overall grade. And also note, even though I'm always trying to get you guys to do your work earlier than some of you like to do it, there's a lot of students that have not done all the Excel projects still. There's some students that didn't complete all the Word projects. So please send me an email if you want to make anything up, and I'll let you make it up. There'll be a 20% late penalty, of course, but still, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you have to do, but you don't want to do it unless you absolutely need to. So please try to do everything for the rest of this class on time. All right. Okay. So for now, let's see. I am sharing. I'm in MindTap, Access Module 1. So I haven't done. Let's see. Oh, sorry, not that one. Training. There you go. But you guys, remember, should go through that because that helps you to understand the training. And then, of course, once you do get to the training and you start, similar to Word and Excel, there's a whole bunch of tasks for each training module. I'll try to remember the numbers as I go along, but anyway, it's 35 for the first one. And again, I'll do 4, 5, or 6, okay? So let's see, hide that. The first one says Start Access. Well, that's nice and easy. You click the Start button, okay? Start button. You see Access up here in what they call the most used list. Okay, and then after the most used, they go to the numeric order, but there's only one thing that starts with a number, and that's the 3D builder. And then after that, it's just the A through Z sort. Okay, so you see I went down there, and on the A part of the A through Z sort, there's Access. So there's Access there and Access here. It doesn't matter which one you click. Okay, I'll click the most used, right? And that is done. Okay. Next task, create a new database from the contacts template with the name contacts and save it to or save it in the default folder. All right. So we have the need to create a database in this case, but rather than using our file new and just making a blank Access database, they want us to use these templates that come with it. You see there's contacts, there's students, there's event management, there's task management, there's nutrition tracking, charitable contributions, call tracker, customer service, home inventory, I guess, work inventory, product inventory, services. There's lots of things you can do, all right? They want us to base our new database on, this is the one we usually use, the blank database. They want us to use this contacts template. So I click the contacts template, okay? Gonna move this again. Let's see, move it down here. All right, so they want it to be named contacts, and they want to save it in the default folder location. So just to let you know, the default folder location is always going to be what you see. You know, in this particular case, like, because it's in documents. So if they showed you somewhere else, then that would not be the default folder location. But on an exam, they would do it just like this. All right. So all we have to do is change the name of the database, and they want it called contacts. So I'm going to click in here. Oh, and by the way, the ACCDB that you see right here, this is the ACC is access, and the DB is database. So the file extension, just like Excel is XLSX, right? And Word is DOCX. PowerPoint is PPTX. But in the case of access, it's ACCDB, all right? And you don't need to type that, though, because when you're creating a database, let's say it's on your folder, on your file, on your computer, if you have Microsoft Access, then it knows it's there, and you wouldn't have to put the file extension, because if you did, it would then put two file extensions. So you don't ever want to do that. But of course, that would only work if you had access on your computer. In this particular class, I've told you guys several times, even if you downloaded Office 365, but if you're a Mac user and you downloaded Office for the Mac, it would not come with access. Unfortunately, that's just something that Microsoft and Apple could not come to an agreement on. You know, basically, Pages is Word. I mean, that's the bottom line. You can say whatever you want if you're the biggest Apple fan in the world, but there was a tiny amount of money paid to Microsoft from Apple to allow them to modify Word, call it Pages, and use basically Word, and then they get to make changes to it. So obviously it's now called Pages if you're using Office for the Mac. Anyway, so I'm just going to type. So it's contacts, all right? So contacts. And then always make sure you named it correctly, capital C, all right? The default folder location is the documents folder, so we're set. And I do not type the .accdb, so I just click create, done. All right, and again, remember, you can do observe, you can do practice and apply. And I'm sure I'll do practice or observe on one or two of these over the next 4 trainings anyway. All right, so create a new table using table datasheet view with the following fields and data types and in the following order. ID. Okay, they're saying that's it is automatically added. Comment date, which is the date and time field. Comments, long text field. And then save the table with client comments as the table name. That's quite a bit. All right, so to create anything, you go to the Create tab. So here's Create, right? All right, and then they want it to be a new table. So here are the table choices. Table or table design, okay? They're saying table data sheet view. If you remember, I told you data sheet view is the first one, even though it just says table. The next one will tell you it's table design, whatever. So in this particular case, we're going to do the data sheet view. So that's this one, all right? So table. So now I have the new table. So that's in data sheet view right now. If I want to click the down arrow here, you see the gray area is the one with data sheet view. Let me get away from it. But look to the left of the words data sheet view when I move the cursor, and you see it's gray. So we're in data sheet view, okay? All right, and they want the following fields and data types and in the following order. So ID, auto number, which is automatically added. So they already have ID, so I don't do anything on that one. So I go to the next one. I guess I click to add, or I click here. Let me just see. ID, comment date, which is date and time. So I'm going to click to add another field, and I want it to be comment date. Okay, so it's date and time. So I click to add, and it's date and time. And now it's field 1, and I have to make it say comment date. And do it the way they do again, please. And as I told you in the other video I made, which some of you haven't seen yet, but you'll start to see it this upcoming week. It's an hour and 28 minutes long. Hopefully you've all started reviewing it. But anyway, comment date. All right, so that was date and time. So that one is done. And now comments, which is long text. Comments, long text. So now I click to add again. And this one, long text. So that's short text. Long text down here. Short text is 255 characters or bytes. Long text is just a lot longer. I can't tell you exactly how many, but anyway, so they want me to now call this one comments. Okay, so that's done. And now save the table with client comments as the table name. So I can just click the save button, or I can probably do the file save as button, but I'll just click the save, and then that brings it straight up for me. And I'm going to call it client comments. All right, so click that. Oops, what did I not do? Let's see. Create a new table using table datasheet view with the following fields. So new table, create table. They left whatever I've already done, sorry. All right, so I have comment date. I've got comments. Did I not make comments long text? Let's see here. Wait. Save the table with client comments as the table name. Let's do file save as then. File. File. Oops. Client comments. Let me go to the practice. I don't know what just happened, but I'm certain.
It is likely that you will want to add a new table to your database at some point. You can use Table Datasheet View to add the fields you want as well as records.
Did this.
Click the Create tab.
Did it.
In the Tables group, click the Table button.
Did it.
Click the Click to Add column heading. You will add new fields by selecting the data type and then entering the field name.
Date and time, I remember. Did it.
Access creates a new field with a default field name.
Now we have to name it.
Type comment date and press enter.
It's possible I typed one of those things wrong, one of those field names, but I thought I remembered comment date because I was talking about making sure. Oh, maybe I didn't hit enter. Anyway, we'll see.
Comment date becomes the name for the new field, and the list of data types opens so you can create another field.
All right, so we have that.
Click long text.
Oh, okay. So I didn't enter after comment date. I must have just clicked over here. Okay, so a long text.
Type comments and press enter.
And enter.
Click the save button.
Okay.
The Save As dialog box opens where you can enter a name for the new table. Type client comments in the table name text box. Click OK. The new table name appears in the tab in Table Datasheet View.
All right, let's do it again. So create and Table Datasheet View, which is the first one. Okay. We click to add. And so remember, we have ID. See, it says, let me just read it again. So create a new table using the Table Datasheet View. So create, and then I clicked on the table. There's two that said table. One was table by itself, and the other one was design view. So I did the one by itself, which is datasheet view. And then they say ID auto number, which is automatically added by access. I didn't have to add ID, and it's already added as auto number. So I just had to skip down into the next one, which is comment date. Okay, and that's date and time. So now I clicked the click to add. So now I click date and time, and now it's selecting a new field called field 1, and if they want me to name this field comment date. So I type comment date, capital C and capital D, and then I enter. That's what I may not have done. And then we're in the next field name. So comment date is done. And now comments is what they want this one to be, which is long text. So I got to click long text, and then that field name name, which is now field 1. They bring it up, and they want us to call this comments. Okay. And then if we enter that, I think we can enter it. And then though, we just want to save it. Okay, so I'm going to click over here on the save button. And now they say save the table with client comments as the table name. So client comments, similar to the last one, they want capital C for client, capital C for comments, and no space, and everything else small. And then click OK. Okay, so that one is done. Now, let's see, in datasheet view of the client's table. All right, so we're on the client or in the client's table. You can see it right here, clients. Okay, and we're in datasheet view. Datasheet view is the records view where you see records. Okay, so they want me to change the date acquired field, date acquired. So this field here, date acquired, to a date time data type. So the field name is good. It's already there. So what we have to do is just click in the first cell under it, meaning right here. Okay. So now I want to change, because they're saying this is text or whatever. Well, they didn't tell me what it is. But anyway, they want me to change it to a date time data type. So I have to change this. Let's see if I can do it via right click. No, I can't do it via right click. So let's get back here again. And let's see, change the date acquired to a date time. So let's go into the fields area up here. So this is fields. And here is date and time. Okay. Oops, not right. Okay, again, let's see. I've got that thing there. I'm in fields. Oh, maybe, all right, so I got to change it here, even though technically that's wherever I just was. It said date and time, but they want me to change it from this thing here, and here's date time. Okay, and actually, because see, it says date / time, and this one says date and with the ampersand there, so that's why. So that was my bad. So date time, done. Number 5, in datasheet view of the managers table. So here's managers. We're in datasheet view. All right, rename the field name off the manager email address using email as the new name. So here where it says manager email address, I'm going to try to right click and see if that will work. Let's see if I can move this. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Okay, rename hopefully will work. All right, so in datasheet view of the managers table, so I'm on the managers table. You can see again the name. Okay, rename the field name off the manager email address. It said manager's email address, and I just right clicked on it. Okay, so right click, and that gives us some choices, and I want to rename the field. So now they want it to be email with a capital E. So I just got to get rid of all these things. Actually, you know what? I can probably do it that way. And then, if I'm careful, do it this way. But make sure you don't leave any spaces if you do this. Okay? Like there's nothing to my right. You see the cursor is right butting up on the L. And if I move directionally over this way, oh, shoot. Oh, okay, I thought it was not going to work. I wanted to show you that I was on the left border, and it did take it, though. All right, let's see, number 6. Let's just do one more. All right. With the clients table in datasheet view. So the same thing. It looks like every time they give you the first step is always done. So we're in the clients table, and we're in datasheet view. So they want me to just change the field size of the state field to 2. So here's the state field, okay? So state field, they want it to be 2. So let's click here, okay? Move this down. So when you click there, again, now everything up top is about that particular field. So again, I got to go to fields though. And now this field state right now has a field size of 255. They said to change it to 2, okay? So what I'm going to do is click to the right of the 255, get rid of the 55 and leave the 2, okay? Now let's see. So I've changed the size to 2 and then click yes when warned. So there's no yes. So that means I have to just enter by clicking enter or maybe by hitting save. One of these. I'm going to go ahead and just like enter, click the enter button. Okay, yeah, that was okay. So now it says and click yes when warned about some data being lost. It says some data may be lost. The reason this is appearing here is because the field size was 255, and we have all these fields with the in the state field. We have all these individual cells. Looks like they're all 2 characters, but it's possible if I scroll down that 1 or 2 may have been spelled out, spelled out in its entirety. So they're just saying, hey, you may have lost some data. We don't care as long as we make it 2 characters. That's what they're telling us. All right. So I'm going to click yes. Okay. So it's still not done. Let's see. Click yes when warned about. Oh, save the table. So then I'm just going to click the save here again. And that's done. All right. So I'm going to get out of there. That's too many of that one. So I'm going to now go to, let's see, that was 1. So let me go to number 2. So click this one to get away. Module 2. Remember there was 35. That's the hard part to remember all this. 35. Let's see how many are in this one. Module 2 training. 30. So 35 and 30 is 65. I'll do 4, 5, or maybe 6 again, depending. Let's see. Create a new select query in query design view using the client's table, including the client name, city, and state fields in that order. Run the query and save it, with the client locations as the name. All right, so create a new query first. So remember, it's the word create. Click your create. Now, queries, there's 2. And when in the last example, I was talking about, again, the table, I said the one on the left of the 2 for table is table datasheet view, even though it doesn't say it, but that's datasheet view. And the next one is table design. Okay, so create a new select query. So create select query design view. So I want this one, design view. Okay. All right, so now I've done that, including the client name. Oh, so first of all, so now I'm in a design view, okay, of a query. So I'm in this thing called query 1 already, but I have to first show the table, okay? So once I clicked design, create query design view, then it brought this show table up. And they're telling me they want it to be on the client's table. So I can either double click the client's table and it'll pop in over here, or I can just drag it over there. It doesn't matter. Well, I guess they're not letting me do it that way, so I'll double click it. So now it's there, and now I got to close the table box. Okay. All right, so now that's it. We've got clients. Then they want me to put the client name down here. This is the fields for the query down below, based on this table up here. So client name, so I'll just double click it. Okay, client name is now down below, and you got to do it in this order, they're telling us. So the client name. Then I got to go to city. Can't see it, so I'm just going to go down with the scroll bar here. Here's city, double click city. So now that's in the second field. And then state in that order. So now there's state, boom, boom, boom. So I got client name, I've got city, and I've got state. Then run the query and then save it with client locations. So run is this exclamation, red exclamation mark. Sometimes this won't be here. If it's not here, then you just click this thing here when it's the datasheet view. And it also runs the query, but this is what they're telling us to do anyway, and it is here, so I'll just run it. Okay, this is the result. See, I got client name, I've got city, and I've got state, and these are all the records that came with that query. All right, and then save it as client locations as the name. So save it, client locations. So again, I'll just hit the save button, and then it pops up as query 1. We're going to change it to client locations. Remember, again, they don't put any spacing. Well, they didn't in this case either put any spacing. So, and they capitalized the C on client and the L on locations. Make sure you verify it and then say OK. All right, so that's number 1 on that one. So 35 and 30. Remember that 65 tasks so far. Okay. With the clients by state query open in query design view. So this is what I keep saying. You see here it says clients by state. Okay. And this is design view right here. This is the design view. So resize the client's field list. Clients field list so that all fields are visible. Clients. Okay. You see that this table, they're not all visible. So what I got to do is scroll down enough so that I can then take the bottom of this table and drag it to where there's no more spacing on that vertical or horizontal. Didn't do it enough. Okay, so I got to, I can also lower this way. No, I can't in this, in their version. All right, so let's just drag it down a little bit more. Okay, now it's done. And that one is over. So now in Query Design View, add an ascending sort order to the last name field. So they're not telling us that we're in the manager list, whatever, but this is where we are. It is a design view, and they happen to be sitting or having this one selected last name. So add an ascending sort order to the last name field of the manager list. Okay, now they're saying it's a manager list query. Okay, all right. So you see last name down here, and then there's a sort right under it. So they want the sort to be ascending. So I'm going to click in this sort field or cell, click the down arrow, and then click ascending. Okay, then run the query. So again, that's the answer, but they were making us run it before they give us credit for it. So I click the run, and that's done. All right, now in Query Design View of the client list query. So again, this is client list. This is design view. When you're in data sheet view, it shows you the records. Okay. Anyway, add the zip field from the client's table as the last field. All right, so we got client ID, client name, street, city, state. We do not have the zip field yet. And it's, again, I have to scroll down because I can't see it. So there's zip. And if I double click it, it will automatically populate over here in the last one. All right, so I'm just going to double click it. Boom, boom. And then it said that's okay. All right, in Query Design View of the clients by state query. Oh, wait, which one? Oh, we're on number 5. Okay, so Query Design of the clients by state. So you can see the name of the query we're on is clients by state. And by the way, over here, these are access objects. We have 4 tables. Okay, see, tables is an access object, and each of the tables is named here, and they're ordered underneath the access object tables. And then there's 3 queries under the queries access object, and we're in the clients by state. Clients by state, and again, this is design view. They just want me to delete the first name field, and then just keep going over here. We have 3 forms and 2 reports. Okay, all right. Let's see, what am I going to do? In Query Design View, I'm here. Delete the first name. All right, here's the first name field. So I click in the first name field right there like that. Okay. And then we go up top, and you see there's a delete columns. You always do something, whatever, in the first cell first. Once you're in it, then you come to the top to do what they want you to do, unless they tell you you can do the right click option or whatever. So I just click. Make sure you're in the right field and the right cell. They're saying they want us to delete the first name field. All I did was just click at the end of that field, and I'm going to click delete columns. Okay. All right. So that's 5. Let's do one more again. 6. Add criteria to the clients by state query to select only those records where the state field value is Texas. Okay. So we're in clients by state. Select only those records where the state field value is TX for Texas. So this is where you go if you're wanting to have criteria. Okay, you see the word add criteria, and down here you see the word criteria. So we want criteria, but we want it in the state field. So we got to make sure we're in the state field. Here's state name from states. So in the criteria for that column, if you will. So I clicked, and you see I'm in the row that says criteria, and in the column where it says state name from states, which is this one. All right, they want me to type TX. If I type TX, I'm now telling the database to only return records where the state has a value of TX. All right. And they didn't tell me if I run this or not, I don't think. Oh, yeah, run it. Okay. So I put TX. Make sure you put it in the right field. State name from states, and make sure you put it in the criteria. I did. Then run. Oops, what the heck? Oh, shoot. What the heck? All right, add criteria to select only those records with state field value as TX. Then run the query to display it in datasheet view. Yeah, run the query. What in the heck is wrong with that? Oh, I didn't. Well, I mean, I did put TX the first time. I don't know how I ran it. Let's see. Add criteria. That's criteria TX. Then run the query to display it in datasheet view. Well, when you run it, it automatically shows it in datasheet view. Now, there's a problem. So let's go back up here to the practice.
Although a query is designed to select records and fields according to your criteria, adding criteria to a field in the design grid limits the selection further. For example, you can restrict the results of a query on clients by state to return only records for the state of Texas. Click the first criteria cell for the state field.
Oh, I put state name. See, I clicked state name from states, thinking state name is Texas, but okay, so it's this field. So again, my bad, right? If you look at the, well, we'll see when we do it in the apply again. So click right here.
TX.
Okay.
Textual criteria are not case sensitive,
okay, not
but
case sensitive.
using proper case will make your query criteria easier to read. If you pressed enter at this point, Access would surround the short text criterion with quotation marks. However, pressing enter is not required. You can go ahead and run the query. Running the query selects the fields and records specified in Query Design View and displays them in Query Datasheet View. 3 records were selected for the state value of TX.
Okay, so same thing, okay? So now, again, let's move all this stuff up here. So let me look at the state table first of all. So it's clients and states. So states has state name and state abbreviation. Okay, so yeah, state name, which is TEXAS, is not what they want. They want the state abbreviation. So they want it to be the state, this state, okay, as opposed to state name. And under criteria, TX, okay, and then run it, right? So that was all for that. That's 6. So that is number 2. So there were 30 and 35. So 65 so far in 2 trainings. Let's see how many there are in training number 3. 65 so far. I'm texting my son finishing. Recording. Okay, create a new form. So this is training number, oh, this is 44. Holy cow. So 35 and 30 is 65, 65 and 100, 40 is 105, and 4 is 109. And we still have another one after. So 109 so far. All right, create a new form based on the manager's table. So what we do when we're talking about creating something based on something, the based on it is what's over here. So I click on the manager. Oh, God. Sorry about that. I don't know. Okay, so on the manager's table is now going to be the basis of whatever I do. So I single clicked on that using the, okay, now create a new form. So again, it's create, okay? And then we go to form, but form, there's a whole bunch. There's form, form design, blank form, but we want more forms. They want a fancy thing called manager split. So that means, because you don't see manager split, so it's either through this down arrow and you're looking for manager split, or it's this down arrow and we're looking for split form. Okay, so this one, and then we name it manager split. Wait, create a new form based on that using the split form tool. Save the form. So all I have to do is save the form. So click my save button up here again and name it. So they have it managers, and I don't want to retype that. So I'm just going to click to the right and delete the S. So now it says manager. Actually, I didn't need to do that. Yeah, I did need to delete it because I got to capitalize it. So, and then put split form. So capital M, capital S, capital F, and no spaces. Manager, split form, okay. All right, I can remember 109 and that other thing. All right, so now with the client entry form right here in form view, this is form view. So again, they'll tell you, and it looks like they're putting us where we need to be. If I click the down arrow for view, then you see there's form view, and you see it's all gray to the left of form view. Layout view, design view are not gray. So we're in the form view. Okay, so I get rid of that. Okay, so we're in that. Use the current record box to display the 8th record. All right, so this is the records. Like we're on record number 1 of 14. So display number 8, or to display the 8th record, I just have to tab over. So click this next record until I get to number 8. Okay, it's possible I also could have just typed in 8, but again, I don't know for sure. So when this is number 8, and now it says that is okay. All right, so now with the client entry form in form view, client entry form, and I am in form view again, but let's verify, because you can tell by the look, but you guys aren't quite as familiar. So you get away from it and look at the background that's gray. So we're definitely in the right view. Navigate to the last. Okay, so the last record, I could do the same thing, but there is a last record. This one here is the last record, and then this one here is like a new record. So this one here is last record, so I'll just click that. Okay, and that's A-okay. All right, number 4, with the managers table open in data sheet view. So this is managers, this is data sheet view. Okay, that's where records are. Use the find and replace tool to find Brian in the first name field and replace it with Brian as the new text. All right, so let's see. Managers table, I'm there. So I got to first of all go to the field again. You got to always go to the field that you're wanting. So in this case, it's the first field, and then that means it's going to be looking for all the fields. So I'm in first name for the first record, and they want me to use find and replace to find Brian in the first name field. Let's see, find and replace. There's find, and then there's replace this way. Let's see if I can do a right click just to see. No, I'm not going to do it that way. All right, so I'm going to go to this find. Okay. So use the find and replace to find Brian. So I got to find Brian, B-R-Y-A-N. Then use the find and replace tool. You know, this one's saying find and then replace. Well, it is find and replace, yeah, so it should be right. Okay. And then replace. So in the replace, Brian with an I. So replace with Brian with an I, first name field. And then, so find next. Okay, there's Brian. And replace it. So now replace. Okay, so it's done. And probably cancel, or it might be find next, but they're telling us to find Brian in the first name. Well, you can see that this is the only records we have. It's only 12 records, so there isn't another. I'm going to guess that they want us to just cancel now, but that does show the record, the right record, because there's just no more that we need to find. So cancel. Yeah, all right, so it's that. All right, so now number 5 on training 3, and we have 109 so far. All right, clients by state query. Here's clients by state. We're in data sheet view. Again, data sheet view is the record, so that's where we are. Use the find tool. Find tool again. Find the first record with Houston. Sort of the same. All right, so let's see. I need to go to Houston in the city. So I got to click the city field. Remember, if they're asking you something like this, you got to be, first of all, in the field that they're looking for, but you don't click the field. You click the first record in the field. And that means, in my mind anyway, click to the right of that. So I'm clicked to the right of Denver, like I was clicking to the right of that first name in the previous one. All right, so that, and then I do the same thing, find, and well, in this case, just find. And I want to find Houston. Find, oh, see, and then actually they are, in this case, they're saying first record. So it's not find whatever, it's just the first record. So find next, because I clicked in the first one anyway, and that wasn't Houston. So I did that. And now, let's see, So use the find tool and find the first record. Okay, so this is it. They're not telling me to change it. They're just saying find it. So now I'll just do cancel. Okay, so that's done. All right, number 6, with the client entry form and form view, this will be the last one. Use the find tool, man, another find tool, find the first record with Detroit in the city field. So now I'm in the form, again, let's verify we're in form view. We are, okay? So we're in form view, and it's a little bit different because this one we're in a form, but we still got to click the field we want. They want the city field. I probably could have clicked over to the left of the word. So far I've been doing everything on the right side. So I'm just going to assume this will still work. So with that, use the find tool to find the first record with Detroit in the city field. You know what? This time I'm going to do it on the left, just in case, even though it's not Detroit though, but let's just see. All right, so find and Detroit. Find. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right, as long as you're in that field. So I found Detroit. They're not telling me to change it. I found it. So then I just hit cancel again. Okay. All right. So remember, that's 109 tasks so far for you guys. 109. That was number 3. So let's now go to module 4. 109. Let's see. 34. So 143. If I recall, Word was 120 something, and actually I think Excel 130 something. And now we're 140 something. So if anything, we have even more. But remember, you have no projects for Access, even though really Access projects are fun and they're good. But based on the number of students that use like Chromebooks and Mac computers, it's just not fair for me to require students, to do it. And in effect, they would have to then go to the, a library or the campus library or whatever. But anyway, all right, so close the client orders table. So closing a table is pretty easy. So I'll just right click it up here and click close. So for sure, that is a choice here from the shortcut menu, right click, close. All right, so that is okay. Now, with the clients by state report, here we go again. They have it up already. So we are in this clients by state report, and it is in design view. But again, you can look in the view. You see design view down at the bottom has all that gray. The others don't have any gray. So we're in the design view. All right, add state as a grouping field. So state. Now, when you see state here with all the dots, that's the label. When you see the one with it clean, that's the actual field. So I'm going to click in this field, I think. Add state as a grouping field. So that, I think, is where I want to be. So up here, there's group and sort. They said as a grouping field. So I'm going to click. Let's see if there's another place to click. Grouping totals. Group and sort. It's got to be group and sort. So I'm going to click group and sort. Okay. Add state as a grouping field. Add a grouping field. Group. So add a group. Select the field. Ah, shoot. Okay, state. Add state. So state. Okay, that's done. That one was kind of, there's a lot to it. Let's go back to that one more time. So, all right, so what I did was click in the state field. The one where it's clean, meaning not having these dots. The dots means it's the label, not really the field. So when they say detail, that means the actual field. So I'm in the state field, and that may or may not even be necessary, but that's what I did anyway. Okay. Then they say add basically a grouping field. Here's group and sort. So I click group and sort, move this thing, and they said add state as a grouping field. So because it doesn't say grouping field, but it's not a sort. They said grouping field, so I assume add a group. And then they're saying state. So I'm going to click state as the field, and it's done. All right. Okay, number 3. In report, design view up to client orders report, add client name as an ascending sort order. So in report design view, again, let's verify. Report design view. We're in design view. Okay. Add client name as an ascending sort order. Add client name as an ascending sort order. Client name. So here's client name. Same thing where it's the clean, meaning no dots. So this is the field. Add client name as an ascending sort order. So I got to go up here and just look for sort orders. Sort. Oh, right here, the A through Z. Okay. All right. So then ascending client name. Wait, what the heck? I don't see. Let me do a client name. Oh, add a sort. Okay, so down here is add a sort. Okay, and client name is the sort, and it then took that and did it. All right, so number 4. Should I do that one more time? Let's do that one more time. All right, so number 3. Report design view. So we're in report design view. We saw that, and they're saying client name. So I always click it. May or may not need to. And then they're saying the sort, group and sort. And then here I clicked add a sort, and I want the I probably sort by, but I just clicked it here. But let's do it this time. Oh no, okay, yeah. So client name as an ascending sort. Once I clicked client name, though, it didn't ask me for ascending or descending. So I assume it just by default goes to ascending. All right, number 4. In the client orders report, switch to report layout view. All right, so I'm in client orders, and now they're actually telling us to go to a different view. So if we click the down arrow again, so now you can see I'm in report view, it's gray. They want us to go to layout view, layout. So click layout view, nice and simple on that one. All right, number 5, create a navigation form with the tab arrangement of vertical tabs left. So they're not telling me which object they want, like clients, client orders, or managers. So I'm just going to go straight to create, okay? And then they want, it's a form, and this one, navigation. Remember this where I was clicking around before? So here's navigation form, but then they want some rules to it. So I'll click the down arrow, and they said vertical tabs left, vertical tabs left. So that was done. All right, so that the last one now is number 6. All right, report design view of the clients by state. Report design, and you can, okay, why does it have 2? All right, let's see. Well, anyway, design view does have the gray, so as long as it has the gray, I guess it is okay. But to me, this is the design view. All right, anyway, add the page header and page footer sections. Page header and page footer. We either go here or here. Oh, header. It says state name header, report header. Add the page header and page footer. I'm going to click right here, do a right click. Okay, page header footer. So I right clicked. Of course, we don't know yet, but I right clicked where this is now black, where it says report header. I right clicked, and then it says page header footer. So page header footer. Okay, so that's done. All right. All right, that's it. That's number 6. So there's 100 and whatever I just said, 43 or something tasks that you guys have to do. It's a lot. All right. But anyway, that's an overview of Access, specifically training. We did 2 or 3 of them with the practice and the others without the practice. So have a great day. Please, guys, work hard, okay? Work hard. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.